Steve Scalise is House Majority Leader. He represents the great state of Louisiana and joins us now. Welcome, Leader. It's great to see you. What's the plan to avoid a shutdown, raise the debt ceiling, and accomplish your legislative agenda, doing all of that with such a slim majority?
Well, Trey, that's the easy part of the job. Obviously, each one of those things you described, all are going on at the same time. You know, we're working on a lot of different things right now with President Trump on government funding, which expires in March, but especially front and center is on budget reconciliation, which we've already begun. And that's where we really get into the heart of pushing the Trump agenda, funding the remaining build out of the wall for border security, giving our Border Patrol agents more technology, drones, night vision goggles, other things. Again, working with President Trump and his team to make sure that they've got all the tools they need to properly secure the border. Energy production, opening up more areas that the Biden-Harris regime closed down. They were very anti-American energy, and we saw that in a negative way in terms of higher costs at the pump, at the grocery store. That led some of the inflation that hurt our economy. We're going to work on reversing that in budget reconciliation by opening up more areas of energy exploration around the country to lower costs. But then we're also going to be working in that same bill to stave off a tax increase, to lock in the Trump tax cuts from 2017, many of which expire. We're working on renewing those as well, along with following through on the Trump promises like no tax on tips. So a lot of things going on at the same time. It's going to be busy, just like President Trump has been busy since he got into office with executive actions, following through on his promises. Some of these require legislative action. We're working with President Trump to carry those things out, too.
All right, Leader, tariffs are the talk of the town, maybe the talk of the world. Here's the president on tariffs, and then I'll come back to you.
Number one is the people that have poured into our country so horribly and so much. Number two are the drugs, fentanyl, and everything else that have come into the country. And number three are the massive subsidies that we're giving. Mexico and Canada have never been good to us on trade. They've treated us very unfairly on trade. And we will be able to make that up very quickly because we don't need the products that they have.
Your home state exports, so does South Dakota, which is home to Majority Leader John Thune. Congress can play a role in tariffs. Do you think Congress will weigh in on exclusions or the tariff rate or which products are involved or excluded? What role do you think, if any, Congress will want to play?
Well, the first role, Trey, is that we're going to be watching what comes out. I mean, we've heard about the 25% tariffs. Sounds like there's maybe a reduced tariffs on certain things with Canada. China, obviously, different set of situations there, set of problems that we're going to be dealing with. But you saw in the first Trump administration, a lot of the tariffs that were alleged to be coming out didn't actually happen. They were threats to ultimately have leverage to get other things. You know, you think about Remain in Mexico. Initially, Mexico wasn't going to sign that agreement, and then President Trump used the threat of tariffs that he would have followed through on to ultimately get Mexico to agree to what was a really important policy to stop a lot of the illegal immigration. So sometimes President Trump has used tariffs as a threat to get leverage for other things to ultimately get those countries to treat us better. And like he said in that clip, you know, some of these countries, Canada and Mexico, have not been good trading partners with us. And he uses the threat of tariffs, whether he follows through or not, to ultimately get better trade deals for the United States. So expect that to happen.
All right, Leader, you got a debt ceiling coming up. I'm going to have you back on because that's a heavy lift even under the best of circumstances. You and Mike Johnson may have the hardest jobs in all of Washington. It's such a thin majority. We will have you back on before that deadline comes up, and we will see how you and the Speaker will navigate that very narrow majority. Thank you. It's great to see you, and best health to you.
No day is boring. Great to be with you, Trey.
Yes, sir. You too. I'll miss you. Take care.